Faced with choice of starting a company or joining a large corporation, why did Steve Jobs believe it was more fun to be a pirate than joining the Navy?
Yeah, yeah. Steve Jobs. That's the title of my book, right? Pirates in the Navy. Steve Jobs thought it was better to be a pirate than to join the Navy because it's the distinction between a startup and a large company. Do you want to be in a speedboat or do you want to be in an oil tanker, right? And so startups have all these benefits around, freedom, working on your idea, lack of constraints. All of those things are really powerful draws to a startup. You can be really inventive there. Startups also have weaknesses, such as I think somebody said a startup is like a mosquito, like it's like a one shot thing. If it misses, then So they have these risks around them. That's why venture capitalists don't invest in one startup and then wait. Right? We invest in multiple startups because we know that 90%, 70% of these are going to die. And so good for the venture capitalist, not so good for the founder. And so the founder is like really struggling with that because their startup might die. And so that's the challenge you it's almost like a trade-off. In startups, you exchange freedom for risk, like it's a high risk. You get freedom, but you also get high risk. Inside large organizations, you get less freedom, but you get a chance to leverage the advantages of being in a large company. Access to brand, access to customers, access to market, like I said before. But you have less freedom. And so if you want to innovate inside a large organization, you then have to become a pirate in the Navy rather than try and make the difference. And a pirate in the Navy has particular behaviors, relationship building, kind of different kind of skill sets that they have to bring to the table in order to take advantage of the fact that they are inside a large company.
So why is there nothing harder in business than trying to innovate within a large organization? What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, no, I actually don't think anything is harder. And the reason of the hardship, right? What I'm learning, Burak, is that the reason for the hardships is the human side of it, which is how much discipline can you have to try something when you are already successful? You're already making money. Your company makes millions of dollars every year. You're the CEO of the company. Your bonus is 5 million a year, or whatever, right? Like, what is the reason for working on a startup? The startup is motivated because they have no money, so they're hustling, right? They got that energy because it's a survival mode for them. But inside a large company, what is the reason for this? And so trying as an entrepreneur in a large organization to galvanize the organization that this is important and we need to do it, that's hard. It creates barriers because the day-to-day life of an established company is keeping the lights on. They spend a lot of their time doing that. And so for them to turn their minds off that and pay attention to a small emerging idea, that's a hard thing. The only time that large companies do that is when they're being disrupted and they're scared. If they don't have a burning platform, it's difficult. And so that's why it's I think